You don't wake up one day and become great. No, greatness doesn't knock on your door with fireworks and applause. It shows up quietly. In the moments nobody sees, in the choices nobody celebrates, in the discipline nobody claps for. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear in 2026. You don't need a complete life overhaul. You just need 1%. 1% better today than yesterday. That's it. But don't mistake small for easy, because that 1%, that's where the fight is. So let's break this down, because improving yourself 1% every day isn't a trend. It's a system. And if you follow this, not perfectly, but consistently, you won't recognize the person you become. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they try to leap too far, too fast. They wake up one morning and decide, this is it. New life starts today. They want everything right now. A stronger body, a sharper mind, more money, more discipline, all at once. And for a few days, they go hard. But then reality shows up. The alarm feels heavier. The motivation fades. The results don't come fast enough. And just like that, they stop, not because they couldn't win, but because they tried to sprint a marathon. See, the real ones, the ones who actually change their lives, they move differently. They understand something most people overlook. Progress isn't explosive. It's quiet. It's steady. It's almost invisible at first. There's a principle backed by real behavioral science. Small improvements, repeated consistently, don't just add up. They multiply. 1% better each day doesn't sound like much. It sounds almost insignificant. But stack that over a year, and you're not slightly better. You're nearly 37 times ahead of where you started. That's not hype. That's not motivation. That's mathematics working in your favor. But here's the catch. It only works if you respect the small. Let me paint you a picture. There's a man who decides to read just 10 pages a day. Not 50, not 100, just 10. Now, most people would laugh at that. Say it's too small to matter. But that man isn't chasing applause. He's building momentum. Day after day, page after page, he keeps going. No pressure, no excuses. At the end of a year, he's read over 3,600 pages. That's not just a habit. That's transformation. That's knowledge. That's growth stacked quietly, brick by brick. Now look at someone else. They say, I'll start when I have more time. I'll read when life slows down. I'll go all in when I'm ready. But ready never comes. And while one man is building, the other is waiting. That's the difference. Not intelligence, not opportunity. Decision. Small wins don't look impressive in the moment. They don't make headlines. Nobody claps for consistency. But they do something powerful. They eliminate excuses. Because you can't say you don't have time for 10 minutes. You can't say you don't have energy for one small step forward. That's why they work. They don't overwhelm you. They move you. You don't need to run 10 miles to prove something. Run for 10 minutes and show up again tomorrow. You don't need to flip your whole life upside down overnight. Just make one better choice than you made yesterday. That's where change lives. Right there in the next decision. And when you start stacking those decisions, something shifts. You build confidence. Not from big wins, but from keeping promises to yourself. You build discipline. Not from pressure, but from repetition. And slowly, quietly, you become someone different. Not because you chased greatness, but because you respected the process. One step, one choice, 1%. Every single day, motivation will lie to you. It'll whisper in your ear when you feel good. Tell you you're unstoppable. Make you believe this time it's different. And maybe for a moment it is. You wake up early. You move with energy. You make promises to yourself that feel unbreakable. But then, life steps in, the mood shifts. The energy drops. The excitement fades. And suddenly, that same voice that lifted you up goes silent. That's the problem. Motivation is built on emotion. And emotion changes. It's like the weather. One day it's clear skies, the next day it's a storm. And if your progress depends on how you feel, then your progress is always at risk. Now discipline. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel when the alarm goes off. It doesn't negotiate with your excuses. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It shows up every time. Whether you're tired, whether you're distracted, whether you'd rather be anywhere else. And in a world like 2026, where everything is fighting for your attention, your phone, your notifications, endless scrolling, constant noise, discipline isn't just helpful, it's survival. Because the truth is, the people who win today aren't the most motivated. They're the most consistent. Look at anyone operating at a high level. Doesn't matter the field. Athletes don't train only when they feel inspired. Entrepreneurs don't build businesses based on mood. Leaders don't show up only on their good days. They build systems. That's the difference. A system doesn't ask you how you feel. It tells you what to do. There's a young man who gets up at 6 a.m. every day. Not because he jumps out of bed excited every morning. No, some days he's exhausted. Some days he questions it. Some days he'd rather hit snooze like everyone else. But he doesn't, because he made a decision ahead of time. He removed the debate. 6 a.m. is not a suggestion. It's a standard. And over time, that standard becomes part of him. Or take a student who studies 1 hour every single day. Not 5 hours when exams are near. Not 0 hours when life feels busy. 1 hour, every day, rain or shine. Good mood or bad mood. That's not impressive on day one, but over weeks, over months, that consistency compounds into mastery. See, people love to talk about talent. They love to say, that person is gifted. But what they don't see is the structure behind the scenes. Because talent might give you a head start, but structure keeps you in the race. And when you build structure, something powerful happens. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop asking, should I do this today? That question disappears. Instead, a new identity takes its place. This is what I do. This is who I am. And when your actions align with your identity, everything becomes stronger. You're not forcing yourself anymore. You're reinforcing yourself. That shift from relying on motivation to building discipline, that's where real transformation begins. Not loud, not flashy, but solid, unshakable. You can have all the ambition in the world, all the goals, all the plans, all the fire in your chest. But if your environment is working against you, you're fighting a battle you can't win. Let that sink in. Because most people don't lose due to lack of effort. They lose because they're surrounded by things that quietly pull them backward. And the dangerous part? You don't even notice it happening. See, in 2026, your environment isn't just the room you sit in. It's not just your house, your office, your city. It's your phone. It's your feed. It's the conversations you entertain. It's the voices you allow into your mind every single day. You wake up, reach for your device, and before your feet even hit the ground, you've already stepped into someone else's world. Opinions, negativity, distractions, noise, all flooding in before you've had a chance to think for yourself. And then you wonder why it's hard to focus, why it's hard to stay consistent, why it feels like you're stuck. It's not always you, it's what you're surrounded by. Because if you stay in an environment built on comfort, distraction, and low standards, growth doesn't just slow down, it suffocates. You start settling without realizing it. You start accepting things that once didn't sit right with you. You start shrinking to match what's around you. But the moment you take control, really take control, and design your environment with intention, everything shifts. Now you're not relying on willpower anymore. You're setting yourself up to win. There's a simple truth backed by real behavior patterns. People don't rise to the level of their goals. They fall to the level of their environment. You keep junk food within arm's reach, you'll eat it. Doesn't matter how strong your mindset is. You keep a book on your desk, in your bag, within sight. You'll read more without even forcing it. That's not discipline, that's design. And design is powerful because it removes friction. It makes the right choice easier. and the wrong choice harder. So now the question becomes real simple. Look around your life. Honestly, are your habits easy to follow or easy to escape? Is your environment helping you grow or giving you excuses to stay the same? Because if your workout clothes are buried in the closet, if your phone is full of distractions, if your circle normalizes laziness, then you're constantly climbing uphill. And eventually, that wears you down. But when you flip it, when you put your workout gear where you can see it, when you silence the noise that steals your attention, when you surround yourself with people who challenge you instead of comfort you, you create momentum without forcing it. Now growth becomes natural. Now progress becomes automatic. And here's the part most people overlook. Your environment doesn't just shape your habits. It shapes your identity. Spend enough time in the wrong space, you start thinking smaller. Spend enough time in the right one, you start expecting more from yourself. So don't just wish for change. Engineer it, control what you can control. Because at the end of the day, your environment is doing one of two things. It's either quietly building the person you're trying to become, or it's quietly keeping you exactly where you are. There is no in between. Now listen carefully. This isn't about being perfect. You will miss days, you will slip, you will doubt yourself. But none of that disqualifies you, because this journey, it's not about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. 1%. That's all you need. One better choice. One stronger decision. One step forward every single day. And if you commit to that, not for a week, not for a month, but for a year, you won't just improve your life, you'll transform your identity. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't ask, how do I change everything? Ask yourself one question. Where can I be 1% better today? Then go do it. No excuses, no delays, just progress, 1% at a time.